opportunity to force another field goal, and it still stays a 2-score game. So it hasn't gone well early for BC, but you don't need to panic. That was a really nice job there of getting themselves off the field to force this kick.
Ruelas has a strong leg. His long this year is 54 yards, and he's 8 of 9 on the season. And this one is hooked, and hooked badly. So a nice sequence for BC. A stop defensively. Ruelas misses the kick. And it's still 10-0. A quick start by the UConn Huskies. UConn and BC on a gorgeous day in East Hartford.
Twisted Tea fans love football, so we're surprising them with a Twisted Tea drop. We're kicking off game day with Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Cold, refreshing, and goes down smooth with 5% alcohol. Twisted Tea tastes like real iced tea because it's made with real brewed tea. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
There was this controversial figure. Everywhere he went, people challenged him. They questioned his ideology, trolled him, called him ugly names. But he never took the bait, never raised his voice, refused to retaliate, because he believed he could change the world by turning the other cheek.
Open. Here you go, buddy. Thank you.
You may kiss the bride.
Love you, Dad.
Oh my God. That's our baby girl.
All right. Do you guys want to do a little swap?
I mean, yeah, I could be into it. Just like a one-time casual thing with Tyler, or?
I was talking about switching up teams for fun.
I don't like this game.
It seems like places are giving you less and less food these days.
Yes, Mama, it's called shrinkflation. Oh, shrinkflation, that's just another word for robbery. But this is shackflation. What? Dang, that's huge. Extra pepperoni, extra cheese on that thing.
UConn has built a 10-0 lead over BC. Plenty of time left, first quarter. And then UConn, the Huskies, back in action. On Friday nights, UMass is coming to town. Here at Pratt & Whitney Stadium, Rentschler Field. Action starts at 7 Eastern on CBS Sports Network. Game summary, in case you're just joining us. Some big plays by UConn, though they missed an opportunity to cash in on that last interception. And BC gets the football back, down 10-0. Jakovic looking. A little pressure. Dumps it off, caught there. And out to the 34-yard line is Hans Lillis. This is a quick start game.
It certainly has been, but mostly for the Huskies. They got on the board early with the 62-yard touchdown to Justin Jolie, and then the huge controversial 4th down stop. They ruled that progress was stopped. I didn't think that it was. And then the high throw that led to the interception and some additional points. But one good thing that's gone well for BC is that UConn missed that kick, and they're starting this drive with high hopes and aspirations.
Alex Broom with the carry. Malik Dixon-Williams with the hit. It's a gain of maybe a yard.
Yeah, Dixon-Williams is their second leading tackler, and he was one of the guys the defensive coordinator and head coach Jim Mora told us he was a little upset and frustrated with at the end of the Ball State game because he was fitting gaps incorrectly, as were many players. They were trying to overcompensate instead of doing their job. They use it as a learning piece over these last 2 weeks, and as I've said before, they use that bye week to perfection because they're playing awfully well here early.
Second down 10. Play action, company. Jakovic throws it. Incomplete. Had a receiver there. Dadrian Boyer-Randall with the pressure.
Zay Flowers was wide open on this play. 3rd and long here early on in this game.
And remember, Jurkovic's been working with an offensive line that is extremely young and patchwork with all the injuries. Another blitz, and he's hit, spins away, still on his feet, and down he goes. Yates again.
Yates is having a career game. Credit Jim Moore and this staff of bringing the second-level pressure off this outside edge. Nobody accounts for Chris Sheeran, the nickelback that had the interception, perfectly dialed up. They get what they want. Sheeran misses the tackle, but the pursuit, and Yates gets it done.
Danny Longman into punt. He had a fake punt run for a first down last week. UConn very much aware of that. And he shanks it. Absolutely shanks it. And this punt is going to bounce out of bounds at the BC 45-yard line. Goodness, that's about an 18-yard punt.
When it rains, it pours, Rich. Boston College is going to have to find a way to settle themselves down. Jurkovic's been banged up a lot throughout the year. Their offensive line's been banged up. They just mishit this, and now it's a short field again for a defense that so far this season's been the strength of this team. But their offense is putting them in some really bad situations here early. Jeff Hafley's frustrated, hands are tied, but he's got to figure this out.
And now back to this really young offense. Zion Turner dancing outside is caught and dropped. Right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a yard on the gain. And actually, they're going to mark it at the 35, so this is going to be second down and 10. Under 2 minutes left. The first quarter that's had a lot of things happen. Just look at what UConn has done with their first 3 possessions. To the sideline. This time it's caught by Claircius. This is a young quarterback with young talent around him, so play calling for him and for this offense is somewhat of a challenge.
There's no question about that. Nick Charlton, their offensive coordinator, does an excellent job, but it's a tough one to put Turner in a situation where the ball is not in jeopardy. What you see today and what we've seen so far and what I watch in my film prep, they attack the perimeter, the outside edges. Very rarely is he asked to throw the football between the hash marks, and that's because they don't want him to turn it over.
Third down 7, a little too much movement, and flags.
False start. Offense number 64. 5-yard penalty. It's still third down.
Now you're at home, and that's Chris Hayne, his second false start of the game. Penalties were a real problem for Connecticut in their game against Ball State, and that's the second time we've seen Haynes move. Rich, in their last game, they had 12 penalties for 110 yards, and prior to that, they had been a really disciplined ball club. But this takes a difficult situation and makes it much tougher.
And that may have cost him a win at Ball State. Big part of that. Turner's got to the 40, but he's going to be well short of the first down. He lands at the 41. Jalen Blackwell made the hit. I don't think that Ruelas has this in his leg. That would be a mammoth field goal attempt, and the punting unit looks like it's coming on. George Carrington, the punter's on his way out.
Without that 5-yard false start, now you're at the 36-yard line with a 4th and 1, and it's a much different decision. UConn needed to avoid mistakes today, and they just simply haven't done that in critical situations.
Flowers is deep. You certainly don't want to kick it right to him. And another procedure call on UConn.
False start. Offense number 29. 5-yard penalty. It's still 4th down.
Moore has got to be frustrated. This is getting comically ridiculous and not the way you want to end the first quarter of this ball game.
If you watch the last 5 to 8 minutes, you say, man, UConn is not playing well. But they are. A quick start for UConn at home against BC. And we head to the second, 10-0. Huskies, you're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, presented by the Home Depot.
It's that time again. Match day 6.
It's an absolute banger.
Who's in and who's out? The UEFA Champions League Golazo Show on CBS Sports Network and streaming live on Paramount+.
Old Trapper Beefs. Last bag.
You know there's plenty for both of you.
Old Trapper, what's your beef?
Your granddaughter's going to love that.
Third generation sailor.
Sailor? Make sure she joins USAA.
My family loves USAA.
We've been members for 40 years.
But you can keep trying, though.
USAA. It's for the military community.
These days, filling your cart feels like emptying your wallet. But filling your table with Marco's feels just like it always has. Absolutely perfect. Find great deals to fill tables big and small at marcos.com.
Hello, welcome to T-Town. Like men over 40 everywhere. These guys experience a drop in testosterone. Don't worry, it happens to all of us. Some guys took my advice about how to boost their testosterone, and some didn't. This guy got the message loud and clear.
That's right, Nugenix Total T.
Nugenix Total T is the unique man-boosting formula powered by Testofen, a patented key ingredient, clinically researched to boost free testosterone, to help you feel stronger, leaner, with more muscle and drive. Nugenix is the #1 selling testosterone brand at GNC, but you can only get your complimentary bottle by texting SECURE to 231231.
Thanks. It'll make you feel like a new man. And by the way, she'll like it too.
Get your complimentary bottle of Nugenix now. Text SECURE to 231231. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, absolutely free.
All right, team. We got a big project coming up. And it all starts with ordering promotional products.
I'm on it. 4imprint makes it easy to get the logoed products you're looking for. The latest in apparel, drinkware, bags, high-tech items, and more. You can be certain of getting it right at 4imprint.com.
Come on out. I'm on it.
4imprint. For certain.
Want to get pumped for today's game? Just tell Siri, play the Today's Hits playlist.
Siri, what's the game summary? There it is. Look at the yardage. 62 of those came on the Zion Turner to Justin Jolie for the touchdown for UConn. But for Boston College, it's been a nightmare of a start.
Yeah, they've only got 16 total yards, Rich, on 3 drives. 2 of those 3 drives ended in a turnover, once on downs and once on an interception. Not the start that BC wants here on the road.
Jakovic and his offense going to get the football right away to start the second quarter. On a UConn punt, penalties hampering UConn. This very easily could be a 21-0 score.
Yes, and that's we'll get into that here in a second.
They kick away from Flowers, which is wise. And they mark it right at the 19-yard line to start this drive. All right, trouble in the trenches. Look, I'm sitting next to a 2-time All-American, Super Bowl champion, College Football Hall of Fame offensive lineman. It's really hard to do anything offensively with all the injuries and stuff that they've had to overcome.
You can't. It's the only position in football where all 5 have to function as one. If we do our job, everybody's successful. But if one player breaks down, everything goes to mess. BC cannot run the football, and what that does is it allows you to make them play to their weakness.
Jakovic ventures around the right side. He's got about 8 yards.
If you want, and one of those weaknesses is getting Phil Jurkovic's legs. He's more Isaac Newton than he is Cam Newton. Has no business out there, Rich, running this football, but it's one of the only ways they found to have some success on the ground.
Player down. So Isaac Newton making an appearance on the telecast. And that injured player is Eric Watts, the junior out of Sumter, South Carolina. He was in pursuit of Jurkovic. He's up, and that's a good sign.
Yeah, Rich, this defensive line is winning its matchup. We saw the graphic. The 8th starting offensive line combination in as many games. It's virtually impossible to do your job when that's the case. And we saw offensive line coach Dave Uglele-Glomo, whose unit's having as much protection or problems blocking as I am pronouncing his last name.
Straight ahead, and again, short yardage. BC not getting a lot of push. And Sequoia McDuffie makes the stop. And this is going to be 3rd down and a yard.
You're just not getting any push up front. You get penetration. You see the left tackle gets beat across his face. They're starting a true freshman out there today, and he's just not ready. The game moves so fast, it's really hard to get your feet underneath you, especially when you're playing next to guys you don't have any familiarity with.
3rd down. Jurkovic. And he's got the 1st down across the 30 to the 31. And you're looking for Boston College, who's an offense that puts up yardage, but it usually comes in big chunks, not long drives.
So this is actually good that they picked up a 1st down on the ground. But what you're doing, Rich, is you're running your quarterback who's not a natural runner, and you're putting his body in jeopardy. They feel really good about Emmett Moorhead, their backup quarterback, the freshman out of California. He throws a pretty ball, and frankly, nicer than Phil Jurkovic. But Jurkovic right now gives him the best chance to win, but it should not be running the football.
6'5", 215, and he's taken a pounding this year. In the pocket and when he runs. Back foot throw, nicely done. Caught on the sidelines. Flowers is there, and he's captured at the 45. That's a nice gain. And a nice throw by Jurkovic.
And there's that explosion that you were talking about, Rich. Zay Flowers, one of the only players that has 5 touchdowns over 50 yards, and now they're using a little tempo here to their advantage.
Jurkovic looking sideline and fires it out of bounds. I mean, look, Flowers is giving you 100 yards a game receiving. Jalen Gill, every time he catches a pass, is picking up 17 yards. Those are the chunks. Boston College is pretty good at that.
Yes, there is. And there's decent protection. You saw Jurkovic set his feet there. But on that last pass, they wanted to run a bubble screen out to the perimeter. Because there was instant pressure, they weren't able to do that. The pass rush completely nullifying BC's ability to throw here early.
From the 44, Flowers in motion. Jurkovic fakes to him. Screen right side. Garwo, nicely done. 30-yard line, still on his feet. Has a convoy. Well designed, well executed. And BC is just outside the red zone at the 21.
One of the best ways to beat pass rush is to throw a screen. It sucks people up. They're all frothy because they're happy they're getting to the quarterback. And then bam. Brilliant play call there by John McNulty, the offensive coordinator, dialing up something to take advantage of that heavy Husky pass rush.
And now, some rhythm for Boston College in their offense.
This is a critical area on the field. BC needs a touchdown here.
Jurkovic, right side, bangs through. 10-yard line, out of bounds, another 1st down, 11 yards. Durante Jones made the stop for UConn, and here come the Eagles.
This was a really nice job and some good, tough running by Jurkovic. We've been making fun of kind of his running style, and that he's not a natural runner, but he's running with great power, and arm tackles are not interesting to him. He's going to keep busting through it, and you take a look what they did on their first 3 drives compared to what they're doing right here, sitting at the 10-yard line.
I saw a young man at Wyoming do a lot of that, Josh Allen. Big guy, strong runner. Jurkovic calling his number again. And he's down to the 7-yard line. Second down and goal. First possession, second quarter. Boston College went backwards mostly in the first quarter.
What keeps coming to mind here as you see they're bringing in some new players is the old Tim Tebow jump pass. This defense is now keyed in to stopping the legs of number 5 who's been running. Great opportunity here to run some play action and take advantage of their aggression.
BC is without their starting tight end, however. George Takis, 17 catches, not available. Shotgun second and goal. Jakovic looked for the jump pass. Fires to the end zone and it's broken up. Malik Dixon Williams, Aaron Taylor all over that. And so was UConn.
And that's the problem for BC is that they were expecting that. You like the idea here, but the defense read its keys and had great eye discipline there. Had the receiver completely covered. And if you're BC as well as this is gone, you may want to think about getting into this end zone. It's a pretty courageous call here to make this 4-down territory. But you also want to finish positively, so maybe the field goal is not such a bad thing if you can't get this here.
Third and goal from the 7. Jerkovic, lots of time, fires, caught. That's Spencer Witter, but he's short of the goal line.
They've got their option now. It's decision time for Jeff Hafley and this offense. It's been a tough go, and they're electing to go conservative and get some points, and probably the right decision, Rich. I always like to go for it, but I'm a player up here in the booth. That's easy to do. The reality is, if they make this field goal, they're only down by a touchdown, and given the way that this game is gone, that's a blessing if you're an Eagles fan.
Connor Litton, who's had a rough year, 6 of 11, knocks this one through. Good for him, good for BC. And Boston College is on the board. 10-3, UConn on top of BC.
Yeah. Yum, yum, yum. Give me some, give me some. Yum, yum, yum. Give me some, give me some. I've got all the flavors wrapped in pretty paper. I'll do you a favor, save you some for later. Yum, yum, yum. Give me some, give me some. Yum, 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 yum.
Some people like to talk into microphones. We prefer dropping them. The MDX Type S, a new era of premium performance.
Just 3 words tell you everything you need to know. They tell you why we employ more than 2,000 workers at our factory in Virginia Beach, and why over 10,000 local steel dealers are putting battery power in the hands of Americans. Not everyone can say that, but we can. Made in America. Real steel. Find yours.
5-Hour Energy, because it's time for some exercise with your best friend, of course, and he can go a long time. So you're going to need some energy, lots of energy. 5-Hour Energy for every adventure together.
Ironic. Edelman's struggling with reception. You need a better network. And Verizon's new Welcome Unlimited plan for just $30 a line.
Verizon for $30?
Yeah.
Touchdown! Get Verizon for just $30 a line and get up to $960 when you switch. Only on Verizon.
Tomorrow, NFL on CBS features a showdown in the Keystone State. Steelers and Eagles. And a crucial AFC East matchup. Patriots and Jets. It all starts at noon Eastern with the NFL today. All hail Sunday, NFL on CBS. These two coaches, similar paths, both defensive-minded coaches. Of course, Jeff Hafley and Jim Mora. Mora, a couple of head coaching jobs in the NFL with the Falcons and the Seahawks. They both coached with the 49ers, but not at the same time. And both take a lot of pride in their team's defenses. Mora actually is the defensive coordinator. Lou Spanos, who walked away from the program early in the season. Mora took over the defensive play calling. This is Rosa. Victor Rosa out to the 25-yard line, and we check in with Sherry Burris. Sherry?
Well, UConn's Keelan Marion overcame a broken collarbone to be back in this game, but now it looks like he's dealing with a right ankle injury. About 15 minutes working with trainers, going back and forth in the tent. Jogging around, I saw him down here wincing a little bit, but I heard him frustrated, clapping his hands. Don't know if he will get back in, guys, but it looks like he might be taking over that leadership role on the bench if he doesn't play.
That's right, Sherry. I mean, the offense sure looked a lot different with him in there, especially those first two possessions for UConn.
He's their speedy threat and allows them to take some play-action pass shots over the top. And without it, the other team's going to have to step up.
Zion Turner, 3 of 6, 81 yards, and a touchdown. Play action, man in his face, and didn't have enough time to get it to Rosa out of the backfield. He was pursued there by Cam Arnold, Boston College linebacker.
And that's a really tough angle because the way the sun is, so the ball was overthrown. There was pressure in his face. He just couldn't set his feet and deliver it accurately. But there's a couple times in this game when receivers are looking back in that direction towards the sun, it's made the catch tough. That wasn't the case there, but definitely something to keep our eye on.
It's Nick Charlton, the offensive coordinator, a young one, 33 years old. He was the head coach at Maine for 4 years before taking this job. Rosa racing. Oh, goodness. Rosa upended. Josh DeBerry hit him. the ball popped loose, but I think it was down on contact with the ground.
This has kind of become the rage in college football, but you see a couple things there. One's Rosa landing on his neck, which isn't good, but the second is that this ball pops free. Now, it pops free after he's down, and UConn obviously maintains connection, but that's a lesson that this young and talented freshman's going to need to learn.
Quickly, it's 3rd down and 8. Turner on the money. The sticks. Clarcius, the catch. He's got the first down. It's a gain of 10.
And that was a huge play there because if Boston College had been able to get the 3 and out, that starts to give them a couple things, some confidence and really good field position. The fact that UConn was able to convert there and continue to move the sticks bodes really well for them.
It's a rare throw, as you pointed out, between the hash marks over the middle. A lot of perimeter throws for this young freshman quarterback. And suddenly the ground game is not going that well for UConn. Chibuzi Onwuka made the stop.
Well, UConn's defensive line's been making some plays, but these guys up here are making some plays too. Penetration is the kryptonite to the run game, and boom, when you get there and you just completely destroy the center, Jake Guidon, that's how you play good defensive line play. Chibueze Onwuka just put on a clinic on how you win your one-on-one and get the stop.
Burns in the backfield with Turner. Blitz comes, gets rid of it quickly, and a sliding catch by Clarcius is a gain of about 6. We'll bring up 3rd down and 5.
So this is an interesting situation. UConn's been okay on 3rd downs. Again, another outbreaking route, something that's short, lets the quarterback put some mustard behind it, but in a safe way. And now this is an interesting formation here, Rich. They have 2 backs in the backfield, giving him some options, probably either as blockers or flare pass recipients.
Turner, screen, deflected and incomplete. And good pressure there by Nito Akpala, the sophomore.
BC saw what I saw there, which was an opportunity to get swing passes. It's just a free release with Sosa's linebacker doesn't come, Rich, but to your point, Akpala did an excellent job of getting his hand in the air, deflecting that ball.
So it's not a 3 and out, but you get a sense that Jeff Hafley and his defense, Tem Lukabu, the defensive coordinator, have their feet underneath them now. That's a line drive punt from George Carrollton, and a fair catch made at the 16. Zay Flowers, Boston College, trying to get him loose, trailing 10-3.
Dick Blumenthal has always been a fierce defender of our right to make our own healthcare decisions. Dick Blumenthal has always stood up for women. Always.
Leora Levy wants government to make women's healthcare decisions.
Leora Levy said she celebrated the overturning of Roe versus Wade. Unacceptable.
I'm a Republican, and she's just too extreme on the abortion issue.
Leora Levy is Donald Trump's choice.
My choice is Dick Blumenthal.
I'm Dick Blumenthal, and I approve this message.
Watch this. When you watch me play, you support all of us.
You show your daughter her future matters.
When you watch me play,
Take the shot.
drive, team up, win.
You prove we deserve more media coverage.
When you watch the game,
You change the game.
On an eerie Fansville by Dr. Pepper.
Said you want a new coach, right? Behold, the coaching carousel.
33! Drive! Hit the hole! Don't dance
So
to
how
it!
do you pick? You don't. It picks for you.
42X out!
A esto le dicen fútbol. That's the international soccer coach.
¡Esto es fútbol!
The wrong football. El fútbol de Dr. Pepper.
Go State!
Dr. Pepper, the one fans deserve.
Oh, Marco's Pepperoni Magnifico. Classic and old world pepperoni on one pizza and that Parmesan seasoning. The phrase slice of heaven comes to mind. Marco's, pizza lovers, get it.
Dip into Typhoon Cove, the metro area's most outrageous indoor water.
Carl?
Yeah.
We're doing Snickers. We did the water park yesterday. You didn't invite me? We didn't actually go to... Was it fun? Never mind, Carl.
10-3, UConn on top of Boston College. Big night tonight on CBS and Paramount Plus. Great moment. 2022 NWSL Championship live from Washington, D.C. Portland, Kansas City for the title. Phil Jerkovic has had people in his face a lot.
UConn up front has won its matchup so far today. This is a unit offensively that struggled against Wake Forest last week, giving up 9 tackles for loss and a couple sacks. And their struggles up front continue. But to Jerkovic's credit, he's effectively ran the football at times here in the first half.
Xavier Coleman in the backfield. Jerkovic, ball deflected and incomplete. Speaking of people in his face, he had him there. And let's check in with Sherry Burke. Sherry?
Well, guys, Boston College offensive line taking yet another hit. Offensive lineman Jude Bowery, he started at right tackle. He is out. You're seeing him now in street clothes, teammates coming up to him. He was in the tent, hands in his face, just emotional. Looked like they were checking his head, but guys, this is already their 8th different offensive line.
That's crazy, Sherry. It's really hard, as Aaron has pointed out, to have any continuity and success offensively with that much attrition. Jerkovic, his throw caught there. That's a leaping catch by Jalen Gill at the 34-yard line. Good to see him back and running, and it makes a nice catch.
Yeah, a couple catches against Wake Forest, 2 of them for 27 yards. This is just a beautifully run route behind the linebackers and in front of the safeties to find the hole shot to move the sticks.
So a first down at the 34 now. Flowers in motion. They'll stay on the ground. So the offensive line has been a work in progress throughout.
They certainly have been, and Xavier Coleman got up limping there. And injuries have just been a story for this offense, and they may continue.
Coleman is down, and we step aside.
That's my piece of the shakaroni. That's the biggest one we make.
They've donated $1 from every shakaroni to the Papa John's Foundation.
Dang, that's huge. If the hoop was as big as that pizza, maybe you'd have made some of your free throws. Somebody save me a slice. Where'd he come from?
5 Hour Energy, because it's time for some exercise with your best friend, of course, and he can go a long time. So you're going to need some energy, lots of energy. 5 Hour Energy for every adventure together.
Give it up for the big hurt, Frank Thomas. Congratulations, Frank.
Hey, Andy, Don, you guys look great.
Hey, I feel great too. Ever since you told me about Nugenix Total T, I'm crushing my workouts.
Thanks to Nugenix, I got more energy, more stamina, feeling years younger.
From the brand that brought you GNC's #1 vitality product and product of the year, new Nugenix Total T is our most powerful man-boosting formula ever because it boosts your free testosterone and your total testosterone. To get your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, text GO to 231-231.
I like the competitive edge Nugenix gives me.
Hey, me too.
Guys over 40, you need Nugenix Total T, and she'll like it too.
Text GO to 231-231 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of new Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. That's GO to 231-231.
This is Sandra. She gets her financial advice from her mother. This is Tony, who gets his financial advice from his old college roommate. And this is where Frank used to sit. He got smart about retirement at smartasset.com. They matched him with vetted fiduciary financial advisors to help turn his retirement priorities into a retirement reality. Everybody sure misses Frank.
Can someone get that?
smartasset.com. Take our free quiz and be matched with up to 3 vetted financial advisors. Get smart about retirement.
10-3 UConn midway through second quarter. Another injury for BC. Missed the ball carrier, Xavier Coleman.
Yeah, it's hard to see what really happened there, but while he was on the ground, he immediately grabbed that left ankle and needed some assistance to get off the field. And the injuries for this unit just continue. That makes it hard to practice and do the things you need to do when everybody's banged up, and that's one of the things that Jeff Hafley told us they've had to adjust to, which makes practice a lot more difficult than just getting less done.
Yeah, and you can't do full speed, you can't hit. There's so many things that changes for a football team. Second down 6, Jakovic rolling, looking back across the field, and he's going to scamper out of bounds. Well, Jim Mora, obviously a head coach in the NFL, had a really nice run at UCLA. He is a defensive mind, and he talked to us about defending Zay Flowers. So far, from what you've seen, how have they done?
Well, they've done pretty good. They've taken him largely out of the game. He's got a couple touches. They're basically a middle-of-the-field close to cover 3 or cover 1 team with some quarters, but what they're doing is they're playing 2 high safeties and robbing him underneath, but that's also opened up other opportunities for other players.
Third down 5. Jakovic's in trouble. Flushed. Escapes. Throws. Down the field. Caught there. Garwo in full flight. Races deep into UConn territory. We'll see where they mark him out. They do at the 16-yard line.
This is what the experience of a quarterback can do for you. Great job of keeping his eyes downfield and enough mobility to place that ball with beautiful touch. Phil Jakovic with the play of the game for this offense, man. That was incredible.
Also realizing where the line of scrimmage was and not going past it before he cut loose. Garwo with the catch and the run. And now BC in the red zone on 1st and 10 from the 16. Flushed again. This is Alex Broom. And Alex Broom is hit right at the line of scrimmage. And knocked over there. We'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Ian Swenson there.
Just great coverage on this. UConn is consistently making Phil Jakovic go to his 2nd or his 3rd option. They're taking away the first read on almost everything. And Rich, this is a defense that hasn't given up a touchdown pass in the last 3 games. That covered over 100 attempts coming into today's game.
Garwo back in. 2nd and 10. It's Caldwell straight up the gut. He's going to get about 4 yards before Jackson Mitchell gets him.
As we talked about the injuries mounting. Seeing Xavier Coleman leaving the field on crutches. This is a critical situation where a back like that has some speed out of the backfield can help you. Again, we've talked about it before. You have to be thinking this is possibly 4-down territory, but you'd love to get the first down and keep this drive going.
They're down 6. Jerkovic, end zone, intercepted. Durante Jones, Jerkovic holds his head, and UConn's second pick of the day ends a potential scoring drive for BC.
Well, Rich, we talked about BC needing to avoid the catastrophic play. The second interception, this time in the end zone, the Eagles' wings are clipped.
Turning up the tailgate with a Twisted Tea drop. We're surprising real Twisted Tea fans who love the smooth and refreshing taste of Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea with a 5% kick of alcohol. Twisted Tea tastes like real iced tea because it's made with real brewed tea. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Out here, you're more than just a landowner. You're a gardener, a landscaper, a hunter. Because you didn't settle for ordinary. Same goes for your equipment. Versatile, powerful, durable Kubota equipment. More goes into it, so you get more out of it.
They say you eat with your eyes first, so here's a good look at our new thick and fluffy French toast. Artisan challah dipped in vanilla cinnamon batter. French toast the way it's meant to be. Try all 3 flavors, only at IHOP. Download the app and earn free food with every purchase.
Ironic. Edelman's struggling with reception. You need a better network. And Verizon's new Welcome Unlimited plan for just $30 a line.
Verizon for $30?
Yeah.
Touchdown! Get Verizon for just $30 a line and get up to $960 when you switch. Only on Verizon.
Coming up on the Ram Trucks halftime report, Adam Zucker, Rick Neuheisel, Brian Jones. All the early action on this Saturday of college football. The Ram Trucks halftime report coming up, and quick peek at the Ram AP Top 10 poll.
Pretty tricky game tonight for Kentucky, taking on a red-hot Tennessee team. Big brother playing little brother with Michigan, with a struggling Michigan State team. TCU I have on upset alert going to West Virginia. Not an easy place to play. Keep your eye on those Horned Frogs.
Robert Burns with the carry, and a good second effort propels him out to the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 13.
Dude, he looks and plays the part. This is an NFL football player, probably at the fullback position. 5'10", 230 pounds. He's a battering ram, can run with power, as we just saw there.
He's in the backfield still with Victor Rosa.
Thunder and lightning.
This would be the slippery lightning across the 35. Flag is down out to the 38-yard line. That's a gain of 5. Penalties have really slowed UConn down offensively.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 2. 15-yard penalty is added to the end of the play. Automatic first down.
It's Bryce Steele, the middle linebacker, and this flag goes against BC.
Rich, it's really interesting. We really talked about coming into this ball game that today wasn't about statistics. It was going to be about who cannot beat themselves. We've seen UConn struggle offensively with penalties and how that's negated drives, and we just saw BC extend a drive and give another big chunk of yardage to an offense that's moving pretty well on its own without that.
There's your battering ram straight ahead inside the 45. It's a great point because this to me is a program game. It's the state of these programs. UConn with a new head coach in Jim Moore after some disastrous years before him, showing signs of life. BC just got beaten up by a couple of top 10 ACC teams. And as they go tempo, and Burns again firing to the 43-yard line. And you're right. If it's UConn could have 21 points up on the board right now.
There's no question about that. This is a big third down that's coming up underneath 2 minutes. BC has all of its timeouts left, so UConn, if they're smart here, they're going to continue to bleed this clock a little bit.
True freshman quarterback. What does 3rd down and 6 look like in the playbook?
You get him outside the pocket and you run his legs. You don't want to put the ball in jeopardy like we've seen Djokovic do 2 times so far in this first half.
Blitz comes. Turner. Down he goes. Big play.
DC take a timeout here.
There's Araku.
That was the worst of all situations there for UConn. Great job by the BC Eagle defense getting after it and getting sacked. They've got a chance here to get some points here to end this half.
Big play by BC. Still trailing. Zion Turner. Down he goes.
Old Trapper Beefs. Fake protein.
Guys, can we take a quick protein break? Protein City. I got my beans, my bars, my goos, my glumps, my fizz. I don't know what that one is, but you want in? I'm good, man. I think Goop was a bad choice.
Old Trapper, what's your beef?
Some people like to talk into microphones. We prefer dropping them. The MDX Type S, a new era of premium performance.
Turn hard-working days into happy nights. With the #1 selling brand in America, Real Steel. Find yours at over 10,000 local steel dealers.
I'd love to have one of my own someday.
Thanks.
Oh, I was talking about your USAA bumper sticker.
My dad served. Passed the membership down to me. I'll pass it to her.
That's a lucky kid.
USAA, it's for the military community.
These days, filling your cart feels like emptying your wallet. But filling your table with Marco's feels just like it always has. Absolutely perfect. Find great deals to fill tables big and small at marcos.com.
My irrational fear would be sharks.
Spiders are my irrational fear because they're nasty, and mostly tarantulas. Tarantulas would be the worst.
I hate like ants, like red ants. You know, a whole bunch of them just on you. I don't like that feeling. Just like they biting you too. I'm good with that.
I have a hard time believing the ants could actually catch Zay Flowers.
No chance.
He's deep right now to return this punt. UConn has made sure they've kicked away from him.
That was priority number 1.
Now Flowers going to get a chance here at the 10. One man misses. Flowers in gear, stumbles. Racing for the sideline, gets a block, and is out of bounds.
If he doesn't stumble there, he probably has what he needs to get to that outside edge there. But interceptions in the first half have really been the drive killer for Boston College. Tough one on Dracovic there. It wasn't accurate. It gets tipped. But this is a ball that you should not throw into the end zone. A panic throw and a bad decision. But, Rich, I'll tell you, as bad as BC has played today, look at their first 5 possessions. They're only down a touchdown here. They get the ball back to start the second half. If they can muster anything here with the remaining minute that we've got in this game, you're walking into that locker room as an Eagle feeling pretty good about your ability to come out in the second half and have a shot.
Last 2 drives, 150 yards of yardage, just the field goal and then the pick. Gill with the catch. He's brought down at the 29-yard line. The clock is under a minute now. 2 timeouts. A little tempo here for Dracovic and his wide receivers. To the sideline, caught there. That's Taj Johnson, and he steps out of bounds. You got a pocket passer with an offensive line that has trouble holding the pocket. And Dracovic doing the best that he can right now at getting rid of it quickly.
And that's smart. And if you're defensive coordinator Jim Moore, you're happy with them taking those underneath shots. You're not going to lose and give up points in 2-minute throwing checkdowns.
That one is behind his intended receiver. That's Joseph Griffin. Clock stops. And second down 10.
And that's a critical missed throw by Dracovic. That was wide open, and that's one of the shot plays. You've got to have a couple plays that are 10 to 15 yards plus early on to get yourself in a position. Luckily, it was incomplete because it was in the middle of the field, so you saved some time. But with only 35 seconds and 2 timeouts, they're going to need some chunk plays here quickly.
Pocket collapses. So does Dracovic. Lost the ball. Watts with the hit. And it's recovered by BC's Nick Thomas.
And that's the absolute worst thing that can happen on a 2-minute drive is to give up a sack. And there's Yates again. What an incredible job he's played all day. Eric Watts gets the credit for the sack, but Bryce Yates contributed there. And BC is going to have to end this half the way it started, and that's on a sour note.
UConn has never defeated Boston College. Never. They have a 10-3 lead at the half. After the break, Adam and the gang in New York. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, presented by The Home Depot.